We are standing in front of the future staircase for Tranquil Meadows Manor. It would go from those two poles right there all the way down to these two poles and would pivot this direction. Now that I'm talking about this out loud, I would probably have it pivot into the living room and not into my bedroom. The original reason it was in the bedroom is because that was the shape at my mama's house of her staircase, but for the sake of practicality, I would want to pivot it into the living room. Over here would be my bedroom. This is all the bedroom where that truck is. The bedroom would have no natural sunlight intentionally because I sleep in the mornings and I wake up in the afternoon and go to bed late at night. So I want the sun out of my bedroom. It will, however, be mostly lit by both infrared and near infrared light for that kind of light therapy, which is good for anti-aging, inflammation, collagen, all sorts of stuff. The living room will be lit with white and blue-white light to mimic sunlight. Turn around. Where that tent is will be the bathroom door so that in the middle of the night I don't have to walk too far to go to the bathroom. At one point of designing the bathroom, you would walk down into the tub. You would walk into the ground to go into the tub. It was an inlaid tub. But now I'm contemplating getting a lion's foot tub, or perhaps just a shower. I have to do some research and see which uses less water, but water isn't really an issue as I would be connected to city water. So I might have a clawfoot tub, or I might just have a shower. Over here, we're passing the staircase again. Over here would be my living room furniture, and a television, and an office space. Right here would be a wet room. At one point, I wanted the wet room to be both a dog and wet room, meaning this is before I got Sim Sam when I had glacies. I am anticipating getting at least 3 dogs total, and I didn't know if I should crate train them all, but honestly, none of my dogs, both glacies or Sim Sam, have been crate trained. They are just allowed to walk throughout the house while I'm gone because they are good dogs. But at one time this would have been a heated indoor porch, meaning it had a doggy door so the dogs could roam outside however long they want to. And if it got too hot or cold, They would have a collar on that opens up the doggy door, and they can go inside the heated or air-conditioned porch wet room. But now, even though I might install a doggy door and it would be insulated for the elements, meaning I wouldn't have to let them in and out of the house all the time, but they are welcome anywhere on the property, inside my house, outside my house, wherever. But I'm hoping to get dogs that would prefer to be outside. Like my parents' dog is a Pyrenees, and she would rather be outside than indoor. But that was the original plans. Now it's just a wet room and storage room, meaning I can park there, walk over here, wash off my shoes. I just also want to add in the wet room and possibly in the kitchen. The floor will be very slightly tilted towards the middle, or maybe the sides, it depends on which is better designed. But there will be drains in the floor, meaning in the wet room at least, I can use a hose in that room and it won't flood the area and it will be drained properly. I'm hoping the drain will just be one drain in the center. That way it'll be easier to clean than if they were drains on the edge. Take them off if I'm exposed to poison ivy. I can wash with the hose there and then come on inside. The kitchen will be over here. I'll have a table right there, refrigerator, stove, dishwasher. So if you look where that black box is, about right there will be a doorway into that other bay. It'll be unfinished. It'll look just like it does now. Maybe a little more organized, but basically that bay is going to be used to store all the tractors and all that. But I want to be able to walk through that bay out the other wall that you see across the way and into a solarium, which is simply a greenhouse, a glass greenhouse attached to the building, the structure, so that in the winter time, when it's cold outside, but I still want to utilize the sunlight, I can cross that bay into the solarium, and at that point be able to sit in an enclosed space, basically outside, where I can see outside, all that stuff. Wouldn't it be beautiful to sit in a glass greenhouse, a solarium, when the snow has fallen and the glass is all melted off and you can just see all around the property and it's all white? That'd be beautiful. Also, in the summertime, if I want to do a little sweating and like little rejuvenation and healing, I can sit inside this greenhouse, which will be very humid and hot and be like a sweat lodge. Maybe not that hot, but it will also have a lot of plants, a lot of flowers, be very fragrant, and I would like music, or at least nature sounds, constantly played. in there on a loop. Crickets at night. Then all that will be right there. Where that tent is, there'll be a staircase again, like I said, to block off. So it's not just one huge room, it is basically one big room with a staircase. And then the second floor, my goal would be not this one right there, but the one above it, to remove those horizontal beams to make a second floor. But it's hard to describe because right here there'd be a box. Like there'd be a wall here, wall right here, wall here. But basically, it's a little complicated. So you're looking at really what would be the ceiling of the wet room. There'd be a wall right in front of you. And then beyond that wall is like an enclosed porch, wet room kind of area. But there'll be only one floor. So if you walk where I'm standing, where that first foreground pole is, would be a corner to a second level, because when you walk in the house, the second floor won't be above you. There won't be a second floor on that part of the house. So having an enclosed room attached to another enclosed room, I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying, but there'll be a little cubby per se of a second floor loft-like thing. Now originally it was just going to be used for storage and decorations, like at Christmas you'll hear me say put a Christmas tree up, or Halloween decorations. But what I'm now picturing is a desk, actually, because that whole black or back panel behind, like looking out that panel above it, I would like that to be a huge window, and I would love for a desk that I face looking into my house. But if I was on webcam working with a client, they would see out the window and see the beautiful scenery out there. So now I'm working with the idea of having an office loft where I would walk on stair ladders, like a ladder that's tilted to be stairs, to get up there and have a desk in an office. And then up there would just be storage space. And I'm picturing putting a Christmas tree up there, or Halloween decorations, or whatever decorations I would normally decorate outside, up on that loft area. And then over there, really where the staircase would begin, is where the second floor would be. So the second floor, I'm sacrificing half of my area for open spaces, while the open spaces would be in the living room and kitchen. It just gives a bigger appeal. It is a big structure. but it just makes it stay big and not so enclosed. Because that's my biggest dream, is to have a large, or at least a larger home than I have now. Because I want to have more furniture and more space. So the furniture I have now will be used in that home. But there are other furniture items at other people's houses that I will eventually inherit. And I want space for that too. So, just on another note, that space up above my bedroom will most likely be used as an art room, where I will have a clay wheel, paint, all sorts of stuff that I can use. I would love to have a dark room on the back side of that above my bedroom, where I can have develop film still, but that's questionable. I have developed film before. I just need to learn how to do it again, especially color film. I've never learned how to develop color film, but it would be really cool to be able to do all that creative stuff that I do in Louisville throughout town, all at my home, the Tranquil Meadows Manor. So with that said, I really am grateful and looking forward to being able to utilize my dreams and desires to build my dream home on my family's property, so that we all can spend time together and enjoy nature and God's creation. But I'm also grateful to be able to live where my retirement will be. When I get to be 60 years old, will be the time of us starting to harvest our trees, which will begin my retirement. So I'm just blessed and very grateful. So with that said, the second floor will only have secondary rooms like an art studio or guest bedroom, things that aren't necessarily needed throughout life, so that when I grow old and can't climb the stairs anymore, it won't be a huge loss or reconstruction or anything like that, because it will already all be on the first floor. But this is Tranquil Meadows Manor, or the future location of it. I have a whole lot of idea with the dirt. We're gonna put blessed sacramentals in the earth and lay cement on top of that. I'll probably spray paint or paint symbols on the outside on what I'm showing you here. Put symbols here, so when we insulate it, it will still be there but hidden. Look how tall that is. So, here's that.